It's no secret that Kyle Hamilton is one of the greatest NFL safety prospects we've seen, maybe ever. There's not too many players that we could look at in history who are 6'4" and have the speed, agility, and first off his ball hawking skills. And the fact that people are contemplating whether he should be drafted in the top 10 based on another player's performance in the NFL who was drafted at top 10 at the same position is absolutely absurd. Kyle Hamilton is 100% a top 10 prospect in this NFL draft, and people are starting to question whether he deserves to be a pick because of Jamal Adams. Now, I definitely see a lot of Jet fans saying that the Jets shouldn't take him at number 4 overall. If he's there at number 10, they maybe take him. But if the New York Jets really evaluate him, in their draft analysis and everything, and they deem that he is a top 4 player and he is available, and those top 3 players that they had in front of him are gone, you 100% take him because you don't want to miss out on a player that's a generational talent. And I'm not saying Kyle Hamilton 100% is. I believe he is, right? We can't determine that. But anytime you take a draft pick, a player in the draft, they are going to have the small risk, or a big risk actually, that they aren't going to turn out to the player that people expect them to. It happens all the time. But if the New York Jets or any team in the top 10, I'm being a little biased because I'm a Jet fan. I'm not saying I want the Jets to take him at number 4. If there's different players available, I would prefer them to get them. But if the New York Jets deem him, or again, I did it again. My bad. If any team deems him as a player, the best player available at the time that they are picking, and they don't take him because he's not an edge rusher, or he's not a tackle, or he's not a quarterback, or he's not a cornerback, like the fact that people are undervaluing the talent that Kyle Hamilton has because he's a safety is absolutely ridiculous. Now, obviously, no one expected Ed Reed to turn into the player that he was, right? Maybe one of the greatest, not maybe, he is one of the greatest safeties, maybe the best safety we've ever seen in NFL history. However, he was drafted 24th overall by the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I don't think he was as generational talent, as big of a prospect as Kyle Hamilton is right now. However, if you were to go back to any of those teams that picked in the top 10, even the top 5, and told Ed Reed, or told them how good Ed Reed was going to be, I guarantee you every single one of them would have selected him. Now, I don't know Ed Reed's draft class and who was picked number 1 overall and stuff, but I guarantee you one of those teams in the top 5 definitely didn't get a player that turned out to be as great as Ed Reed was. Now, and I'm not saying that Kyle Hamilton is the next Ed Reed, right? That's a lot to live up to. I think Kyle Hamilton just has to play his game. But if any team is considering anybody else on the board and they have Kyle Hamilton rated as a higher prospect and they don't take him because of his position, it's absolutely absurd. Now, the safety position getting drafted so high has kind of been hurt based on Jamal Adams. And now, again, I might be a little biased because I'm a Jet fan. The New York Jets took Jamal Adams with the 6th overall pick. He was deemed the best player in that draft class as well. And he obviously didn't turn out to be an amazing player that was a franchise cornerstone for the Jets, right? He's not even on the team anymore. And that's not because of poor play, actually. That was because of, the Adam Gase situation. He didn't want to be on the team anymore, didn't trust the GM and stuff like that. However, his play on the field with the New York Jets looked amazing. He looked really good. He was a cornerstone for that defense until he got traded to the Seahawks, where he's kind of become a little bit of a joke, more so from Jet fans probably than anyone else. But he hasn't been the same player that he was with the New York Jets. And people are saying that because of Jamal Adams' production on the field, that Kyle Hamilton doesn't deserve to be a top 10 prospect, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. He's one of the greatest prospects we have ever seen, yet people are putting edge rushers that maybe would go towards the back end of the first round in the top 10 now, just because of positional value. And I think positional value is something that is hurting the NFL draft. It's something that's always been around, but more so with draft analytics and stuff like that coming out over the last few years. That is why the top teams in the NFL draft are consistently being there. I mean, we have the Jaguars taking the number 1 overall pick for the 2nd straight year, and I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence is a bad pick, but if you're going to have teams like the Lions, the Jets, the Jaguars and stuff like that picking at the top of the draft, maybe it's because of positional value. Maybe they need to just look at the prospects and pick the best one available there. And that's just a little rant I have about Kyle Hamilton. I'm a huge Kyle Hamilton fan. And the fact that he's getting overlooked because of his position, I think, is absolutely absurd. Every single position matters on the football field. And if you think he is the best player when you are picking, you better pick him, because you are going to miss out on maybe one of the greatest safeties we see in NFL history. Now, I know that is a bold statement. I'm not saying it's going to happen. But if you deem that is a possibility and you don't take him, then you deserve to be picking at the top of the draft year after year. That's my little rant on Kyle Hamilton. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think I'm kind of irrationalizing everything? Or do you agree with me? Do you think that if teams deem him to be a top pick, that he should be there? Let me know in the comments below, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel so much. And good luck to Kyle Hamilton.